Hello video collectors, this is a video response to several of the threads that have been out there in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm so far behind on. I work 6, sometimes 7 days a week, so I'm not able to participate in these threads as often as I would like to. So hopefully I'll get caught up now, and then hopefully I'll be on schedule where I can probably post a video once a week responding to the threads. I'm so far behind, so I gotta play a lot of catch up. I'm not going to be able to answer all the questions. I just know I have until the middle of the 4th song before my 15 minutes is up. So I'm just going to start with Joseph. What turntable do you use? This is a Marantz 6300. It's a vintage turntable. I love it. Even when I do upgrade, I'm not going to get rid of it. I have turntables all over the house. I have a couple in the office. One of them is a USB. I have one of them in the bedroom. This one here, I have several in storage. And I love it. It's servo control, direct drive, auto shut off. It has independent 45 and 33 pitch. I love it. I've had it a while. My brother gave it to me. I've had it probably, I don't know, maybe 6 years, 7 years. Another one of his questions, do I play an instrument? I do not play an instrument. I collect instruments. I have a couple guitars, a few horns, things like that. I'm in the process of possibly buying a drum set off of somebody at work, and but I'd like to get my hands on a violin and a saxophone and a upright bass. I do like instruments, although I don't play. Another one of his questions is, do I collect 7-inch records? I do. When me and my girlfriend moved in here, and my master bedroom was my record room, and when we decided to take over my place because it had a better floor plan, a lot of stuff went in storage, and so what I'm going to show you is what I bought in the last 3 months. It's not what I have, it's just what I collected in the last 3 months. It's approximately 170, 175 45s in here. A lot of good stuff in here. There's some Kiss, some Sammy Hagar, there's some Psychedelic Furs, Nina, Depeche Mode, lots of good stuff. Bananarama, all kinds of good stuff. This is approximately 125 in here. Little case. And this right here is approximately 50, just over 50 probably. A little room for more. So I don't play a lot of 7-inch, but I can never turn down a 7-inch. I prefer albums. The 7 inches are too time consuming. What made me collect vinyl in the first place? Music's been around me my whole life. My mom always had music going. She would listen to, the Beach Boys and early Beatles and some real bubblegum style music in the 50s and early 60s. And I had 2 older brothers that were into what we call classic rock today, which is just rock and roll back then, where they liked, Cream and Led Zeppelin and even Van Halen, The Who. The whole 70s and 80s rock, 60s, 70s, and 80s rock. I did end up with my mother's collection and both of my brother's collections, so it's kind of nice to know that there's some family, heritage inside my record collection. That's nice when I think about that, or when I play something that my mom listened to, or play something, one of my brother's records or something like that. It really makes me feel good. Spillerine's question, what's your favorite instrumental? I know Mr. Hall of Fame held up Paul Hardcastle. I don't think he held up this album right here. This is Rainforest. This is a great instrumental album. Paul Hardcastle is my favorite instrumentalist. Mr. Hall of Fame did hold this up. He held up a couple, and he did hold this up. This is a great album. If ever I want to show somebody what my stereo is capable of doing, I always put on this. This is quite, if you've never heard this record and you come across it, buy it. I was actually lucky enough about a week ago to pick up the 7-inch single, Paul Hardcastle's 19. What's the condition of the records I buy? You know, if I go into a record store and I'm forced to pay, you know, top dollar for it, or not top dollar, but just the average price for a record, I want it to be clean. I want it to be very clean. Now, the most important thing to me is the actual record itself. That to me always has to be in very good condition. I will, if I'm at a garage sale or a thrift store and I see a record that I do not have and the cover is a little chewed up, but it's got a good vinyl, I'll buy it for 50 cents or a quarter, put it in my collection, and then get a better copy of it later. My problem is I never have the courage to pull the crappy album out when I replace it with a good one. So that's basically it. You know, if I go to a record store, I want a clean record because I expect to pay a couple bucks for it, a few bucks, whatever it costs. But at a garage sale, I kind of have a little lower expectations when it comes to garage sales and thrift stores. I don't know, it's just how I feel. Record store habits. If it's a record store I go to a lot, I hit the new arrivals. If I have time, I'll cruise the whole store and touch records I've touched many, many times. If it's a store I've never been into, I'll still go to the new arrivals because less people have seen those to buy them. What I figure in my head. But I still like to mosey around the whole store, touch, feel, smell, taste every record. Next question. Favorite rock movie? Almost Famous was good. Mr. Spellering brought that up. Mr. Hoffhames has brought up High Fidelity in the past. Those are two great movies. Two of my favorite movies to watch. Especially Almost Famous. That's just a great movie. And High Fidelity. They're both up there. You know, and then you have like the rock operas. You have like, you know, Tommy, Quadrophenia, which are always good. The Wall. You have Heavy Metal's a great movie. There's lots of music-oriented movies, whether it's about music or has just this an awesome soundtrack to it. Ranking your genres. I tried to do that on a piece of paper. That's hard. It's one of those questions that I give up on after a few tries. I'll tell you the genre I tried to collect, and it's very hard for me to walk away from, is the new wave, the punk, the post-punk, you know, the 80s underground, or even some 80s pop, as long as it was kind of had a new wave feel to it. Just because a new wave band had a pop hit does not make them a pop band. So that's the section I try to tend to get more the new wave and the punk, post-punk, stuff like that. What we call classic alternative, I guess. Next question, Mr. Hoffame. What's the negative thing about my collection? It's probably that I'm not in a music room yet. Hopefully by spring we'll be in a 3-bedroom and I'll be able to have a room. Should be kind of nice. Picture discs, do I like them or do I dislike them? Don't really make a difference to me. If they're side by side, I probably pick the picture disc because I have less of them, but it don't make a bit of difference to me. Picture disc, I probably have less than a dozen. That tells you how I feel about picture discs. I'm not talking bad about them. I do not like or dislike them. What 3 artists would I bring back to life? The only artist I would need to bring back to life will be Malcolm McLaren. I can't even say enough about Malcolm McLaren. Rock Taboo, what group do I not like that I don't want to admit that I like? That would probably be Neil Young. I know everybody holds up their Neil Young records and they're so proud of them, and I have a lot of Neil Young. I probably have maybe 7, 8, 9 records of Neil Young. I love Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but I just have a tough time listening to Neil Young on his own. I don't care for Bob Dylan either. I just don't. Incredible artist, extremely talented. They're just not my, you know, I just don't think that they're, I'm digging myself in a hole. what fine songs make a great story, make the best story. I could bring that down to one artist, not necessarily 5 songs, but Laurie Anderson. I know no better storyteller than Laurie Anderson. I brought her up in a couple of videos. Laurie Anderson is it's hard to beat when it comes to telling stories. What's the most music-related piece you brought into the house lately that wasn't a record, 8-track, cassette, anything like that? That would probably be, I don't have them out here. So my U2 tickets arrived, so I'm gonna go see U2 in 2011. So that's cool. I also collect anything music-related, everything and anything music-related. But I also collect Hard Rock Cafe stuff. I know it's kind of cheesy novelty stuff, but I still collect it. And I brought in some glasses, I think, not too long ago, a couple days ago. And I would say that those are probably like the 2 most recent things that I brought into the house that wasn't vinyl or tape. What 5 bands is destroying music as we know it today? Again, bring it down to one person. Lady Gaga. I just not a Lady Gaga fan. If you are, that's fine. But I don't care for Lady Gaga. It's very hard for me to get into that kind of music. I just don't see that myself as very, very talented. I think it's more, record label production than it is talent, if you ask me. But don't throw rocks at me for saying that. I think that's it. I think I'm just about going to begin the 4th song, so I'm probably a couple minutes early on my 15. But I think that's it. I've answered enough for now, and I'm caught up. And then hopefully I can make another video in about a week or so, and on current threads. Hope you enjoyed the video.